This is gonna be a crazy video. It's already creeping me out already. I have to stay here home alone tonight. I'm definitely gonna be checking my locks and everything else in my house before I get to sleep tonight. Probably after this video. So let's get into it. Welcome back, first of all. I feel like we're having a bond here. You've come back a couple times. I've been back a few times. I'm keeping on this Tuesday, Thursday schedule already. It's my first week and I'm still keeping up with it. I'm really excited for this video. This is something that has always kind of interested me for sure. And I knew a little bit about it, but getting prepared for this video, I've learned a lot more about how creepy this is. So we're going to be talking about the Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa. So on June 9th, 1912, a family went to church. While the family was at church, someone decided to sneak into their house, up in their attic, and stay there the entire day. Oh, that creeps me out. On that night, and in the morning of June 10th, he came down when they were asleep, grabbed an axe, and murdered this entire family. But not just this entire family. There were two neighborhood girls with him that were just sleeping over for the night. And he killed them too. In the morning of June 10th, at about 5 o'clock, their neighbors stepped out to do laundry, like you do at 5 o'clock in the morning. And at about 7 o'clock, she realized that the house was unmoving. No one was up, which for those times was definitely strange. Between about 7 and 8 o'clock, she went and knocked on the door. No response. From there, she went to get the father's brother. He went into the house and saw the horrific crimes that had been done that night. Now the murderer, feeling that if you've done something wrong, if you've done something bad, you have to cover your reflections so you can't look at yourself anymore. That you know you've done something bad and you can't bear to look at yourself again. An interesting concept. So he put sheets over the mirror, over the windows, over anything that could cause reflection to see himself, and left. Now, you would think, well, if he'd killed 8 people, at some point he had to slip up, right? The fact that he put sheets over windows, he had to slip up, right? This is 1912. They don't have exactly a way to get fingerprints or anything like that. So no. As a matter of fact, apparently he didn't slip up enough, because he was never found. No one knows who killed the Moore family in Villisca, Iowa on the night of June 9th. 1912. Now that we've kind of gotten that little history out of the way, I want to go into an interesting topic that when I told my friends that I was going to do this today, and I told them a little bit more about what the Villisca house is, and the whole reason I'm doing this is because I realize not many people know what the Villisca house is. They don't know much about Iowa in general, but they definitely don't know about the Villisca house, which is interesting because majority of my friends are into hauntings and haunted houses and interesting murders like this, I guess. I guess we're all psychopaths, like I said in the last video. And the biggest question we've always been wondering is, how was he found? This is a small town. I live in a small town. If you've ever lived in a small town, you would typically know when a stranger comes into town. When I first came here, I got odd looks. People would probably talk about me behind their hand, you just don't feel right in a small town when you're new. So why didn't anyone come out to speak about this? After hundreds of interviews had been put on the front page, why did no one realize that a stranger had entered their town? So was it a stranger? Was it someone in the town? And maybe that's what the town thought when it first all happened, because they're a small town. Things tend to happen. And people talk. And accusations were probably thrown. And this town was split because a random act by an axe was committed in their town without them knowing in the middle of the night. Were there no screams? Were there no fighting? I mean, isn't it strange that no one seemed to know anything? Now, this investigation was handled pretty poorly, even for 1912. There still should have been certain things here and there that he should have slipped up at, that they should have realized. Was it a stranger that just was going town to town, that decided on a Sunday, when he knew everyone was going to be at church, in a time that no one locked their doors, that he's just going to sneak up in their attic and grab an axe and kill? It's just strange to me how random it was, and how a small town seemed not to know what was happening. It's interesting, and something I want to learn more about, and I want to figure out more about. I've been watching videos of ghost huntings and history on the Villisca house, and there's not many well-known facts other than how the murders were committed. But it's strange to me. It's interesting to me. It scares me. That maybe, even in our time where we lock doors, what if we forgot to lock a door? What if we forgot to check our attic? What if we forgot to check our closet for the monster? And in reality, that monster could just be a person with no reason or rhyme. And isn't it interesting that he kills and he knows he's done bad, and he has to cover up his reflection, almost like it's not something he's proud of, that he is forced to do? My friend came up with the theory of, what if there was money owed? This is Iowa. A lot of crazy things can happen in Iowa. No one's gonna really notice, it seems like, because no one really knows what Iowa is, unless you've lived here. Is it just corn? I mean, we have the Villisca Axe Murder House, which is an interesting, unsolved mystery, murder, an unfortunate murder. And could you imagine just having your children go for a sleepover and never seeing them again because a random person decided to kill? It's just very interesting. And it creeps me out a lot. A lot. And when I laugh, it's not to laugh. It's just kind of an uncomfortable laugh that I don't really know how to react to everything. It's crazy. It's scary. Even something like that could still happen. It's like something out of The Shining.
Not by the hair on your chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
Let me know what you think. Are you excited for me to go to a daytime tour? Do you want to see kind of the house? It's a small house, and it still has the axe marks up in the father and mother's room. It's interesting. And I'm going to leave some links down below with the ghost huntings that I found on YouTube that I think are entertaining and interesting. What's your opinion on who did it, why they did it, maybe? Did you know about the Villisca murders? Anyhow, I think we're gonna end it here. I think I've given you enough information and creeped you out probably a little bit and given you a lot to think about. Let's talk about it more in the comments. Message me. Let's talk about it. I'm super interested in hearing everyone's opinion on this because it's an unsolved mystery that I think is super interesting. And by interesting, I definitely mean saddening, unfortunate, that these 8 people had to lose their lives because an unknown reason. I guess just hug your family a little bit tighter tonight. Double check your locks. Double check your closet. If you have an attic, which, God, I don't know why you'd have an attic because they're terrifying. Probably double check that. Lock it. Hug each other a little bit tighter. Spread love. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Ooh, that's creepy. Don't be looking at doors while I'm talking about this. Creep. What are you doing? What? Crazy.